Now we're going to learn how to do a gusset. A gusset is a method of adding space to something that's too small. If you want it to expand, you can put a piece of fabric in it. Sometimes we do them under arms or in waistbands where we need more space to make it fit. It's also a decorative idea that's used in a lot of skirt designs and other clothing designs. But the point of a gusset is that you are joining 3 pieces of fabric at one point, and from there beyond you only have 2 pieces. And so this would continue as 2 pieces, but from here on it's 3 pieces. So you want to join them all 3 at this point. So I'm going to show you the very simple method of doing that. Let's say these 2 fabrics have been stitched together in a seam, and they are stitched or unstitched from this point on, because that's where I want to add the expansion. But from here on, they're already stitched, so I will pre-stitch that, just like a regular seam. Now I'm going to add this gusset in with a regular seam allowance on each side. And so those 2 seam allowances of 5/8. Should I go get that?
No, it'll just pick up the sound. And so I won't be able to edit it out.
Let me see. I'm going to make a mark that shows me the point where these 2 seam allowances would connect, if those are both 5/8 seam allowances. And that's the point I want to connect to this seam. So I'm going to begin with that dot exactly on the back tack. And I want, as always, my seam allowances to touch on the 2 sides and all the way up. So I'll pin it at the dot and I'll start sewing down this side. I want to sew exactly to that dot and back tack. And clear back to the dot again, and then remove it and do the same thing, putting the triangle on the other side. I don't feel a need to even pin it now because it's in place, it's not moving, but I do want to start exactly on that same dot. And back tack. Now line up my seam allowances. And this gusset has now increased the space here by 4 inches and kept the same distance here. So you can see how that would give you more space. If this were an underarm, I would do a double gusset, and this would be right under the arm's eye to add lifting distance. Or a football shaped gusset is really good under the arm. And then you press this I like to press it with both seam allowances outward. And you can actually press this one open. You can also serge down this line and down this line and have all of these edges finished nicely so they don't fray. Should we press it? It's going to look a little nicer. A little heat, a little steam. And that's how the gusset should end.